Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. In this video, I wanted to discuss the GRE at home and to answer all of your burning questions about it, especially the big question, what happens if your internet or your device disconnects in the middle of your examination? Do you lose your entire money? Do you wait forever again to take the GRE and all that? Okay, so to answer all these questions, I've invited someone to the channel. His name is Yashwanth Mulakala, and he took his GRE at home last November, and he's here to answer your questions about the GRE at home and to tell us about his experience taking the test at home. Okay, so welcome to the channel, Yashwanth. How are you doing?
I'm good, Sachin. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining us. So before we begin, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Hello, guys. My name is Yashwanth Mulakala, and I'm currently pursuing undergraduation at Geetham University, Hyderabad, and CSC is my major. And I'm planning to go for masters in USA in fall 2022, and I've given my GRA at home in November 2020.
Okay, so perfect. So can you tell us, let's get to the main event. Can you tell us about your experience with the GRE at home?
Yeah, when I gave my GRE at home, I had a pretty scary experience. During my verbal part, I just got disconnected, and when I got disconnected, I didn't knew anything to do because uh, at that at that point of time, it wasn't given in the instructions what to do if you get disconnected. So all I did was I just pressed on the Windows key button, and then a chat box opened. I just messaged the proctor telling that this is what happening with me, and he took control of my computer and he tried to connect me again and again. But then after trying for 3 to 4 times, I got connected, and after that the examination was pretty smooth. So that was my kind of scary experience of GRE at home, guys.
Okay. So just, I guess the main question was, how long did it take for you to reconnect? And, did you lose any time? What happened?
So approximately it took me around 5 minutes to get connected with the proctor again and for the examination to start. So after that, I was given an extra 5 minutes, and as soon as I got disconnected, I observed that the timer got paused at that moment itself. So you don't have to worry about the time. You'll be given extra time if you get disconnected or if any technical issues come up during your examination.
Okay. So what was your exact problem? Like, did your device disconnect, or was it like your internet? How long did it take for you to reconnect the internet back, or what?
So when I minimized the ETS browser in which I was writing my examination, I observed that my Wi-Fi got disconnected due to a power issue. So I guess that was the reason why I got disconnected from my examination. But somehow still the chat box was working and also the recording was going on. I believe that once we get connected again, the feed till that moment is sent directly to them. I mean, even when you're disconnected from the internet, it will be still recording. And when you get connected to the internet, that feed till that time when you were disconnected will be directly sent to the proctor, and he'll be reviewing at the same time. So just don't think if you get disconnected, just don't move from your place. Stay at that place itself. Try to message the proctor. Try to see what the issue is, and then after that, I guess it shouldn't be a problem during your examination.
Okay. So then it was a good thing, you got disconnected, you got the time back as well. Did it disrupt your flow? What did it affect your performance? What happened?
So I was tense for that for those 2 minutes, but then after that, as soon as the exam started, I came into the flow and I was doing it well. I didn't care much about it because technical issues are common during online exams. So that's the thing.
Okay, perfect. So now let's talk a little bit about the setting up of the whole GRE at home. So what did you have to do? Did you have to do any special thing to set up for the exam, download anything, or just follow their procedures and all that?
Yeah, so as soon as you book your GRE at home in the ETS account, you'll get a mail from the Proctor U website. So Proctor U is a third-party website who will be administering your examination. So you need to download a Proctor U extension for your Google Chrome, and then after that, you need to check whether your system is eligible for writing the examination or you're not. And after that, on the examination day, you need to keep your passport and also Aadhaar card is accepted recently. So you can keep your Aadhaar card in hand as a government ID proof. And after that, there's certain instructions that you will follow. And after that, the examination will start, and the proctor will take control of your computer, and he'll be constantly proctoring you.
Okay, great. So like I heard that you have to like, show them your room and stuff. Like, so what's all that about?
So you need to hold your laptop in your hands, and you need to rotate it in 360 degrees, and you need to show the complete room around you. So it should be a private room. It cannot have any attached bathrooms. If it does have any attached bathrooms, you need to show even the bathroom. That's the disgusting thing, but then you need to show it
That there's no
because
one inside, right? Okay.
yeah. I mean, some people might hide your friends. You might hide your friends, or you might hide any GRE expert inside the bathroom also, right? So that's the reason why they want you to show even the bathroom. So apart from that, you also need to show your desk on which you are writing, and if there is anything below it, you need to show even that. And after that, you also need to show your phone. You need to switch it off in front of the camera, and you need to rotate your laptop to the cupboard or shelf in which you'll be placing your phone. You need to show them that you are placing your phone in that place. And after that, you need to show your passport, government ID, and after that, you are good to go.
Okay, okay. What about clothes? Like generally when you take the actual GRE, they will make you empty your pockets. You're not allowed to wear like, big jackets. I think you can wear jackets. I don't fully remember. You have to
Yeah.
show that, there's nothing inside your socks and all that. So like, is there, that kind of body check and stuff?
They don't check your clothes or something like that, but then from what I remember, they asked me to show my pockets. That's what I remember. And apart from that, you can pretty much wear just a t-shirt like this and a short in your short, because you'll be writing in your home, right? You don't have to care about clothing much. The only thing I remember is that they'll ask you to show your pockets. That's what I remember. Apart from that, they didn't ask anything much about my clothing.
Okay, perfect then. And okay, so that's awesome. So I think that's it for the experience. What we'll do is we'll get to your questions. I ran a poll on Instagram, and I got a bunch of questions. So I've curated the ones that I feel are going to be the most impactful to your own experience with the GI at home. We also got some questions that were not really relevant to, let's say, someone's experience taking the test. So we got 3 of those questions. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly answer those 3 questions, and then the rest of the main GRE at home experience questions we'll ask Yashwanth. Okay. So the first one of those questions that we got was, is there a content or difficulty difference between the GRE at home and the GRE at the test center? Right. So guys, the test is identical. There is no difference between the test in when it comes to writing it at home versus writing it at test center. They're not going to bother to change the entire infrastructure of the test just because the location changed, right? Test is exactly the same. Don't worry about that. Right? Next question that we had was, are universities accepting the GRE at home? Yes, every university that accepts a GRE score will accept the GRE at home score. Right? And finally, people have asked whether the passport is necessary. So the passport used to be the only type of identity proof that you can use for the GRE exam. But now ETS has allowed you to use Aadhaar card as well, temporarily, I believe, to take your GRE at home. Okay. So now we have some questions for you, Yashwanth. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready, Sachin.
Okay, perfect. So I think you've already answered this question a little bit, but maybe you can just sort of quickly go through it once again. What is the procedure before the GRE at home begins?
So before the GRE at home begins, all you need to do is you need to show your room completely. You need to show your desk, and you need to show your government ID, whether it's a passport or an Aadhaar card. And apart from that, if I remember properly, you need to show your pockets also. And also you need to show your mobile phone. You need to switch it off, place it in a shelf or cupboard, and you need to show that place to them. And after that, your GRE at home examination will begin.
Perfect. Awesome. Next question. Do you need the table to face the room's door? Some people, the table is like fixed and doesn't exactly face the room's door. So is that a problem?
Yeah, when I was writing my examination, my proctor didn't ask me to do do a thing like that. But my friends were telling that their proctors asked them to move the table so that it's facing the door. So there is a chance that they might ask you. Depends on the proctor.
Okay. So I guess to be on the safe side, it's smart to think of a way or think of a place where you can keep your laptops such that it faces the door, right? To make sure that nobody's entering the room. Perfect.
Yeah.
Next question. How is the monitoring done exactly? So they want to know, like, are the proctors always watching you through webcam? Can you see the proctor? Can you hear the proctor? Can you speak to the proctor? How is the monitoring done?
Okay, the thing is they'll be constantly monitoring you. That's the first thing. And the second thing is you can't see the proctor. Okay. And the third thing is you can directly talk to the proctor, but then there'll be a pause of at least 2 to 3 minutes before they reply to you. Maybe it's due to the network latency or something like that. I mean, there's a lag between you and the proctor. So that's the thing. And the best and the fastest way to communicate with the proctor is just to message them in the chat box that they will install, and they'll show you how to message. So try to message them in that chat box instead of talking with them. Also, if you don't have any of these two options, what you can do is you'll have your A4 size paper in a sleeve, or you'll have a whiteboard beside you for doing the rough paper, right? So if you need help, you can just write help in the paper or whiteboard, and you can just hold it near the camera so that they'll think that you have a problem and they'll help you out. So
perfect. Okay. So preferably don't talk to them, using voice call, use a chat. And if either that doesn't work as well, then just write help and just point it at the camera, right? Awesome.
Yeah.
Next question. Can you read the questions out loud? So can you talk to yourself when you're taking the examination and all that?
So yeah, many of us have that habit of reading the questions out, but then I would not advise you to read questions aloud, because they might think there's a second person along with you in the room and you are trying to tell the questions to them and they are helping you. So it's not a good idea or a great idea to read the questions aloud.
Okay. All right then. So keep quiet during the examination. Next question. How did you do your rough work and calculations? So I've heard that there's two ways: the transparent sheet or the whiteboard. How did you do yours? Was it difficult, to adjust to the new mode as compared to a notebook?
Yeah, it was difficult, but then due to pandemic, we don't have any other option, right? So what I did was I just placed an A4 size paper in a plastic sleeve, and I had an erasable marker with me. So I used the marker to solve the rough part for quant, and I used to erase it with my hand, and then I used to do the extra part of quant, whichever is required on the rough paper. On the A4 paper that is placed in that plastic sleeve. So some people even use the whiteboard, but keeping it on your lap and making it visible in the camera is pretty difficult. So I would advise you to go with an A4 size paper in a plastic sleeve and just carry a erasable marker with you. So
okay.
That's the best.
So I just wanted to pick up two things there. First thing is that you said that once you ran out of space, did you use the actual A4 sheet or did you just keep writing on the transparent sheet?
So I see the thing is, once you place the A4 size paper in the plastic sleeve, you'll not be writing on the A4 size paper. You'll be writing on the plastic sleeve, right? So you'll be erasing it and you'll be doing it again and again on the same plastic sleeve. You can't change things.
Okay, so basically once your exam is, sorry, go ahead.
And also you can't move from your place, so you can't get an extra A4 size paper in a new plastic sleeve. So that's the thing. You will be erasing it and doing it again.
Perfect. So basically once your exam is done, your A4 sheet is still empty, right? At the end of the examination.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very important, guys. The whole purpose of them asking you to get a transparent sheet or to get a whiteboard is because they don't want any record of your notes of the examination after you complete the exam. So make sure that you're always wiping out everything, when you take the exam. Okay. Second thing that I wanted to ask you was that you mentioned that the whiteboard needs to be on the screen. So you can't place it on your lap. Does it always need to be visible to the proctor?
Yeah, see, you might sit at a distance of at least half a meter or something like that. At that time, your paper would be visible to them. You have to hold the paper in this way so that it is visible. And
would it be possible for you to sort of give us the example right now? I mean, anyway, since we're recording this, could you maybe give us, sort of how it looked when you took the exam?
Yeah, sure. So I don't have a plastic sleeve as of now.
But that's okay. That's okay.
So what I did was I just had a pad like this with me, and when I was solving, the laptop was below on the table, and I had 2 or 3 books that were below the pad. So I took the support of them, and I just give me a minute. So this was the marker, erasable marker that I used. So I was doing it just like this, and yeah, I was just solving. So they want to know that you are just looking in the paper, and the thing that you're looking is just the paper and the pad. There is nothing else. That's what they want to confirm. And apart from that, they don't want to look at anything else. They don't want to see what you're doing in the paper or what you're scribbling in the paper. All they want to know is the sleeve in which you have placed the paper is visible or not. Okay. So even if you're doing on the whiteboard, it'll constantly be visible for them as it is on your left or right side. So that's it, Sachin.
Okay, perfect. And just one more, you mentioned the books that you placed under the whiteboard. Were they GRE books? Or like, do they have any rules about that?
So I didn't tell them pretty much that there were books or something like that. When I showed them the room, I knew that these things would be difficult. So I just placed one rough notebook that is this big, and I took the support of that. So yeah, so most of the proctors don't even ask that. It's your preference completely to go with a whiteboard or a A4 size paper, and sometimes proctors don't even care to ask. I mean, they don't even want to see the paper constantly. You can just take your pad and paper, and you can just do it like this, and you'll be doing your rough. They won't be asking you whether you're looking into the phone or whatever you're doing.
Okay. So in most cases, I mean, it's proctor dependent, I guess, right? But just to be on the safe side, there should be some way for you to like show both if necessary, right? Awesome. So that's, I guess, something that you and I learned something new during that question. Okay. Next question, can you snack during the break? So like, what are you allowed to bring with you during the break? What are you allowed to do during the break? Because I know that you can't leave the room.
So the thing is, you can leave the room actually.
Oh, you can?
You can. Yeah, you can. You can ask the proctor, you can tell them that you want to go to the restroom or something like that, or you want to grab a snack. So you can tell them that, can I leave the room? Okay, if you ask them, if they give you permission, and if the proctor is kind enough, they'll surely give you the permission. You can just go out of the room, and yeah, you can move out of the room, and also you can have a water bottle beside you. You can also have water during the examination also. They won't restrict you. They won't tell you anything. And
but I hear it has to be in a transparent bottle, right?
Yeah, it has to be a transparent bottle. And even if you're keeping a pouch in which you will be placing your pens and everything which you need for the examination, it should be just like this transparent pouch.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the thing, Sachin.
Okay, great. So you're allowed to leave the room, you're allowed to snack, and you can drink water during the break. Yeah. And you can bring it to the room as well, right? Perfect. Okay. And finally, were you able to focus on the test while at home? Were there any distractions and all that? Yeah.
So when I was writing my examination, I traveled back to my village, and I was writing at a kind of farmhouse. So that was pretty silent environment around me. So if you are staying in the center of the city and there are a lot of noises, and also there's a construction site that is beside you, and all of these background noises might make you get distracted during the examination. And so I also run a YouTube channel where I share my GRE at home experiences, and also I got to connect with many students who face the situation. Because of background noises, usually proctors get a doubt that there are people around you or something like that, so they might end your test abruptly. So I would highly advise you to sit in a silent environment so that you are not distracted. At the same time, your examination goes smoothly and the proctor doesn't get any doubts. So that's the thing, Sachin.
So that's it for the questions, Yashwanth. So before we go, I just want to discuss two more things. First is, a lot of my students will ask me, okay, should I take the GRE at home or at the test center as well, right? So what I usually tell them is my rule of thumb. So my rule of thumb is, if you have time before your deadline and you don't have to take the GRE right away, then it's recommended that you wait for the test center to open up and you take it at test center so that there's no problems and everything like that, right? If you don't have time and your deadlines are coming up and you need to finish off the GRE so you can focus on the rest of the application, then take the GRE at home. Don't waste your time. Right. So, what do you think about this rule of thumb? Would you agree? And finally, do you have any tips for people who are finally taking the GRE at home?
So yeah, I would agree with you, Sachin. If your deadlines are approaching and if they are nearby, I would highly advise you to go with GRE at home. But then the thing with GRE at home is that there are many students who are facing many technical issues. So it is kind of scary to go with GRE at home. But then, as you all know, as the test centers are not open in many cities and due to multiple lockdowns in India, the only option that we have now right now is GRE at home. So if you think personally that you can sit in a silent environment for approximately 3.5 hours or 4 hours, you can go ahead and give GRE at home. If not, I would highly suggest you to go with GRE at test center.
Okay, perfect. So that's it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Yashwanth also has a YouTube channel where he shares more about his GRE at home experiences and basically, applying to college. So if you guys are interested, the link to his channel will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, as always, comment below and I'll try my best to help you guys out. All right. Take care and good luck on your GRE exam. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.